and via the Circle City Band. Now we are back. Mixaholic Mondays, y'all. Special edition. Salute to the legendary Switch, the legendary Funky Skunk, Paul Thomas, Circle City Band. We want to get back into the interview. So, Funky Skunk, we just played. You heard that song we just played.
Yes, sir. I love
If you
them
want to
horns,
get
man.
if you want to give us some background on that, and we'll get back into it.
Man, that whole album was classic. Period. That album is classic. I know the look of the album, the look of the band. You know what I'm saying? That was an unusual thing for a small band like that to have a big sound like that. Period. Especially them horns, man. Them horns. It sound like Tire Power or somebody. I mean, the only band that I could compare to that sound, to be honest with you, and they had a whole different sound, but I'm talking about as far as the band is Kool and the Gang. Kool and the Gang had that type of sound with a small unit, but it sounded big. It sounded like an orchestra. You know what I'm saying? And shout out to Greg and Eddie, because man, they was clowning with the trumpet and trombone stuff. You could just hear it in the mulch of the tracks. How they stack that stuff. And then with Philip and Bobby doing them vocals. Philip, I'm telling you, man, Philip is underrated like a bug, man. The vocals that Philip had on there, them ad libs, they had the perfect thing, just like Jermaine and Michael had with the Jackson Five. And on top of that, with the horns. That was the key thing. Anybody could see how Jermaine just fell in love with him. And Michael McGlory on the guitar, come on, man. Legendary.
I love that. So, with that being said, like with the instrumentation that was going on during this album, because we're gonna be running a lot of different records, in honor of Switch tonight. So, like as far as the instrumentation was concerned, what do you think they brought different? Because we watched it before, and you knew the story because you was there, but I didn't know the story, and I just love learning about what I'm into, which is the music industry. So, like hearing the stories and hearing the background of how things happen and how a lot of things happen organically, I love to hear that. What year was the album dropped, and who were some of the people? Because this was once they got on Motown, right?
Yeah, that was one of the. I believe that was the first album on Motown. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, that's like
Did it?
like 80, 79, something like
Okay.
that. Then they came out with the one with the yellow cover
Yep.
after that.
Uh-huh.
And it's crazy, man, because Switch didn't really get the run that man. Just think if things hadn't happened with Bobby and they got a run, because I think Switch could have been like Earth, Wind and Fire or somebody. Where they get like that about 6 or 7 album run where they just had, but it ended up transpiring over to the family, which you can't take it away from the DeBarge family. I mean, it's just and I'm talking about not just DeBarge with L and the group DeBarge. I mean, you got Chico DeBarge. That dude is stick. You know what I'm saying? And then the other was Bunny. They went into the gospel thing. Tommy was a hell of a producer also. Tommy the bass player, he was one of the older brothers, and they had that blend as a family that man, I'm quite frankly, man, you can't get nowhere but in the church. You know what I'm
No, for sure.
saying? And
Yes.
their mama could sing, you know. So
Mhm, mhm.
but I'm gonna tell you the key thing to all of that, man, the orchestrations, the arrangements, and you know, it was it was natural, it was organic. Like you could tell those melodies and those counter melodies were like custom tailor made to fit just for their sound. They didn't have no stuff like where you knew it sounded like James Brown or something. It flowed like a river, just like the vocals.
No, okay, definitely. Let's throw the DJ head rush and we rolling. And also, Kermit put some information in the chat
78.
about.
Yeah, I was on it.
Go ahead,
I wasn't too far off. Kermit come with the actual research and development.
oh yeah, that's his role in the
Yeah.
show. He's executive producing tonight. Salute DJ Hell Rush on the panel tonight.
Salute.
Salute to you.
What's up? What's up, team? What's going on, family? Salute to everybody on the call. I'm liking the vibes and where we going with this. Paul, this Funky Skunk hit it on the head, man. I wasn't even alive when Switch dropped their first album, but I'm a connoisseur of this music thing. You know what I'm saying? So I got something to say about Switch. Like, see, a lot of people don't understand the dynamic and how important Switch's music was when is to hip hop nowadays. So let me give y'all a little context on that same album that you just played that song off of. They had a song on there that says "Call My Name," right? And
I
in the
call your
beginning of
name.
the I call your name. The beginning of that song was the same intro that a hit song artist named Rich Boy
Them
made throw
D's.
some D's on it. That song still lives forever. Every time you throw some D's on it, Switch gets a piece of that change.
And now
Like it's
Kendrick and SZA.
Yep, the
you see what
34.
I'm saying? Hey, don't get it twisted. Hold on. You know that
Oh,
song that
my fault.
Cardi
I ain't
B
let you
did?
land your plane,
Oh,
brother.
no, you good. We on the same plane. We good. So you
Yeah.
throw in when you need to. You know that song Cardi B got? I like it. Yeah. Let's go.
Yep.
Let's go there. We talking about rappers. The current artists are still using their music, man. So they need to go ahead and give them folks their flowers while they can smell them. Because if it wasn't for them, we wouldn't have them songs like "Ooh, I like it." Come on,
That's the
man.
bar.
Like they're still the same family.
Yeah.
Like the
Yeah.
whole family, they've been pumping out hits for 50 years. Ain't no way.
You
You
would,
know what I'm
hey,
saying?
hey, hey, here, Rush. You wouldn't have do 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 do
No,
do
no,
do do
no,
do do
no,
do
no,
do
no,
do
no,
none of
no,
that
no.
shit.
Yeah,
None
you
of
wouldn't
that.
have none of that. If Tupac wouldn't have had, yeah, exactly,
Yeah,
you wouldn't have had these songs. Like it's hit songs that we've listened to growing up and that we still listen to now that actually has their music that they wrote in the
Yeah,
songs.
absolutely.
So,
yeah.
Great music is great music.
Actual fact.
You know what I'm saying? And that's why tonight, and salute to the Funky Skunk too as well, Paul Thomas, for coming up with this idea and curating this show. And I was thinking about it all week. We had a meeting about a week ago, and ever since we had that meeting, my mind just got to really turning with this show right here, because like these type of shows right here are the special shows. You know what I mean? Like we do
Praise
every
God.
week, breaking records, all those different things, right? So this week I'm like, okay. When he gave me the idea, I'm like, okay, I just wanted to put it in my head all week, like, okay, how we can really curate this and make it a special show, even more special. So with that being said, I want to keep every time y'all mention a record, that's the record we gonna spin in that the next
There you
right?
go.
That's what we're gonna do. And with that being said, that's gonna be I call your name. We're gonna go to that next, and then come back with y'all. We're gonna keep chopping it up about the legendary Switch on the special Mixaholic Mondays. Give us some background on the I call your name, OG, because see that's the great thing too. What we're gonna do with the Punch and Skunk show as well, coming soon, y'all. We're
Ain't
gonna
no.
be talking about everything behind the scenes, because that's something that the OG does effortlessly. His memory is impeccable as far as the background of records, and that's intriguing to me. The background, the behind the scenes of things. So we're gonna be talking about those stories a lot on the Punch and Skunk show, coming soon to a radio near you, to a
Man,
speaker
that's
near
gonna be
you.
a beautiful thing. But look,
So
I'm gonna say this like this. One of the things that about I call your name is the genius of Bobby. Bobby's uh, showmanship comes through on the mic with that record because I mean he's really pouring out his heart, talking to any female in the world, and they just melt like butter when Bobby, that little thing, like, are you gonna call me? Is this really your phone number? That all that, man. It just that part right there alone made all the girls want to be with that dude, and you know, I'm gonna I'm gonna keep it real like this. Bobby wasn't no innocent dude. That nigga was a player. So he had that boyish charm and that high pitched voice, almost like Michael Jackson, make you think he was innocent. But Bobby wasn't innocent. Bobby got in them draws, man, with all that, you know, with all that slick, you know. But it's like he smoothed you out, and that to me is the most signature part of that song. I mean, when the song comes in, come on, man, it's undeniable. But the intro to that's the main thing in Throw Some D's and Kendrick, that 30-30, without that little, you know, that little intro, that's Bobby, man. Now, with that being said, he repeated that with Love. Well, I'm gonna go into another thing. You might have y'all ever heard "Love Me Over and Over"? Anyway, that's on the Shaft soundtrack. The same thing, the magic of Bobby DeBarge and his sexuality and his sex appeal to be a lover boy. You know, that made Switch. Switch was a band of pretty niggas. Them niggas was pretty, and every girl wanted to be with them. Every man wanted to be like them, or either they wanted to shoot them because they was taking all the women. And Bobby was the epitome of that. So that's the signature of "I Call Your Name" and "There'll Never Be," you know, and all that.
Switch gave us light skinned niggas some life in the 70s.
Exactly. I mean, you know, they made us household name because you know I'm ain't no high yellow like Bobby, but you know I had the hair and I still got the hair.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? But I down, bro.
and then there was Wesley Snipes.
Ain't nothing like being able to be inspired too, like a group like them where they inspired y'all to come with the hits that y'all came with as well, and really was putting y'all on game. Like we're gonna get into too.
And
So
even the dark skinned dude, like Philip is a dark skinned dude, but he had that big old perm. And even Greg, man, the switch was not lacking for the women. Period. Nobody in the band. You know, them perms and all that stuff. Let's just keep it a band. And them niggas switching up on instruments, they were just ultra impressive. You know.
talented. Let's get into it, y'all. I Call Your Name, the live version. Let's get into it. Mixaholic Mondays, special edition. Shout out to Switch. We in here. We rocking with the legends. This special legends edition of the show. It's a blessing to be here and to be able to do this because we able to do what we want, when we want, how we want, because it's our show, our platform, and we drive the culture.